and we are calling it iPhone. Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone.
In the late 2000s, cell phones looked a lot thicker, had keypads, and were not expected to be such a big part of our lives. The iPhone in many ways changed that. They took a non-personal business-centric device and made it personal. That didn't come at a low cost though.
$500 fully subsidized with a plan? I said, that is the most expensive phone in the world, and it doesn't appeal to business customers because it doesn't have a keyboard, which makes it not a very good email machine.
Little did Steve Ballmer know. Now you might be thinking, $500 is a very good deal for an iPhone, considering nowadays baseline models are more expensive. And you would be correct, but you have to look at this from the perspective of 2007. The United States economy was on its way down, and most phones costed about half of what the iPhone costs. Because most phones did not really need that much tech inside, Apple changed that to say the least. The iPhone had fantastic specs for the time, which is what led to its high price point. So what's in the iPhone? Let's find out. The iPhone is a 412 MHz single-core ARM11 processor. Yes, this iPhone comes before Apple started using proprietary processors. For all your gaming needs, this one has PowerVR MBX Lite graphics and 128 MB of SD RAM. These specs cover a 3.5-inch 320 by 480 pixel display, which according to Time magazine in 2007 is too big for a phone. Yeah, the battery is a surprising 1,400 milliamp hours. However, it makes sense considering how inefficient the phone really was. All in all, it was a powerhouse for its era. So what about the build quality? Well, this phone feels like a tank, for better or for worse. It's a small phone, and its weight distribution makes you feel like you're carrying a rock more than a cell phone. Despite the sturdy hardware, the software is kind of a mess. For the year 2010, which is when the last firmware was released for this iPhone, the software was good enough. It was serviceable, but there was definitely an incentive to jailbreak. But now, in 2017, iOS 3.1.3 feels horrible. You can't even do basic things like record video in the native camera app, make folders, or keep multiple apps open at once. That is how limited this software is. It also doesn't help that iOS lags on this phone. A lot. The built-in Safari web browser that Apple loved to advertise so much with the launch of this phone is barely usable. It has almost no functionality in HTML5, and considering you need HTML5 for things like YouTube, you're kind of out of luck. Well, okay, so can you download another web browser from the App Store? Nope. With the oncoming purge of 32-bit software from the App Store, soon enough you won't be able to find anything that works with the iPhone 5 or older. Until iOS 11 is released, for the time being you can still find a few apps that work with iOS 3.1.3, but it's difficult. The issue is, for an app to support iOS 3, it needs to have not been updated since 2013, which is when the App Store dropped support for it. This opens up a lot of issues. However, I was able to find one single app that fits this criteria: Resident Evil 4. Good job, Capcom, for not updating that. One thing this app does showcase well is how far you can push the iPhone 2G. These graphics look a lot better than I would expect. The camera quality on this phone is also really bad. I mean, you're not gonna get much refresh rate or anything. I'm just gonna take a photo of my cat real quick. Yeah, you're not gonna get much. So what can this iPhone do? If you use your phone like you would a feature phone, meaning just calling, texting, and light web browsing, then this phone is more than enough. You only run into issues when you need this phone to be an iPhone, as counterintuitive as that sounds. Anyway, that'll be it for this video. Tell me your story about your first smartphone. Comment down below, like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.